My name is KeithBoykin. I am an adjunct professor here at Columbia University. I'm a CNN political commentator. I'm an author of 4 books, mostly on race and sexual orientation. Been a media commentator, political advocate, and activist for some time. I worked in the Clinton administration in the White House for President Bill Clinton. Went to Dartmouth College and Harvard Law School, and went to law school with President Obama, and had a number of different careers. I lived in New York City, was born in St. Louis, and lived all over the country. Well, I grew up in a mostly white neighborhood, middle-class community in outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and so I feel like I never fit in. And then we left St. Louis and moved to Clearwater, Florida. We were living in sort of an upper middle class white community in Clearwater, Florida. And again, I didn't really fit in. And so I think that experience of not fitting in has kind of helped to influence my view on the world. Because it's easy if you're a part of the majority, a part of the mainstream, to just sort of see the world the way everyone else does. And I've always been that person who didn't do that. I remember when I was in high school, I had a humanities teacher who introduced me to Socrates, among many other things. And one of the famous quotes that I remembered was, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And I thought to myself, yeah, why are these people just going through their lives every day, not questioning what's going on, accepting what everyone's telling them? And I think it's because it was easy to do that when you had privilege of being a part of the majority. But when you don't have that sort of mainstream approval and privilege, then you are forced to sort of question your existence and what your role is in it. So I think that's kind of what led me to sort of be engaged in all those things. I mean, I'm passionate about making the world a better place. When I was in college, when I applied to college, I went to Dartmouth College in New Hampshire, and there was a manual, a brochure for the college that said that they sought to admit students who wanted to make a significant positive impact on society. Those are the words. I remembered them because I thought to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to make a significant positive impact on society. And so I felt I would try to do that in whatever way I could in my life. I've been passionately involved in politics. I've worked on, I think, 6 campaigns in my life, 2 presidential campaigns. I've been passionately involved in progressive causes. I worked on the issue of diversity in faculty at Harvard Law School when I was a student there. I helped to start, as I mentioned before, a national black LGBT organization called the National Black Justice Coalition. I was the executive director of another national black LGBTQ organization. So I've been passionate about issues of sexual orientation, which has also been the subject of the books I've written, Race and Sexuality. I'm passionate about just educating people in the way that I can, both here as an adjunct faculty member at Columbia, and also in the work that I do in my writing, in my TV commentary, and in whatever other capacity I can. I feel like saying, I think all my life I've been involved in media and politics. And so what I did in the Clinton administration, I worked in media and politics. I was a spokesperson for the Clinton White House, and I was a director of news analysis at one point, and then a director of specialty media. So I was sort of in charge of outreach to all the sort of non-mainstream media. And also worked as an LGBTQ liaison in the Clinton administration. So I had a number of different jobs there, but I feel like the work I did in the Clinton White House is very much related to the work I've done since that time. I taught at American University in Washington. I taught at Columbia. I've worked on CNN, MSNBC, and CNBC, and I've done a lot of sort of activism work in the LGBT community. So I feel like it's all kind of intersected and interrelated. I have family all over the country. My mom lives in Texas. My father passed away last year. He lived in Florida. My sister lives in Chicago. Family everywhere, but very few members left in St. Louis. I think my family shares my political views. I think we're a pretty progressive family of people. Most of the African Americans I know are pretty progressive, to be honest, but I think my family members pretty much reflect what I think about most issues. I may be more progressive on some issues, but I had to educate them on, for example, LGBTQ issues. But I've been fortunate to have a family that's pretty supportive.